Welcome to the JRPG Pursuit, a podcast about all things JRPGs. My name is Abdallah.
I'm Emily.
And I'm Brandon.
And I didn't even say all the things I was going to do to make Brandon laugh this time.
Well, that was very straightforward.
I know. I went straight into it. I was like literally telling Brandon right before this, I was like, you know what? I got to figure out how I'm going to make Brandon laugh. And guess what? I technically did. So there you go.
You did.
Mission accomplished.
That's very very zen. I don't know how to describe that, but it's very like
he's keeping us on our toes.
Exactly.
I am the spoon or whatever.
It's new year, new me. I'm gonna go straight in. I'm not gonna, we're not beating around the bush with it.
We're not fumbling around here.
Exactly. And speaking of
new you, I think that's great. I'm the same piece of crap that I was.
Oh, I'm talking about a new me is like the worst version of me at this point. So I need to bring that down. Version. Yeah, like new me is like, damn, I've really let myself go here over the holidays. I need to fix that.
Heck yeah.
Hey, that's what New Year resolutions are for, right?
Exactly. And speaking of resolutions and New Year and things that we like to do, let's talk about collecting today. Collecting. And from a perspective of like, okay, it says 2026. We've talked about collecting enough in the past, but how are things going? Let's have a check-in with like, as a new year, what are we thinking about the collecting sphere as it is right now? Mm-hmm. And where do we see it going for the rest of the year? And what are we doing? What are our, expectations of ourselves as we try to like, I guess
just navigate, right?
Yeah. Navigate the next, this coming 2026. So
and talking about retro and modern, right?
Exactly.
They're two sides of the same coin in a lot of ways. So
yeah. We collect both. So, we figure a lot of our listeners also collect both. So it's interesting, like how have things changed since we started the podcast or even started making content? Where's collecting going?
Yeah. I think we just slowly, like we've slowed down a bit. I think in the initial phases, I think we had a lot of episodes where we would just like show off like how many things we've picked up. And I feel like it's been a very like a lull. In the last so many months.
Over the holidays, I didn't pick up any new games physically. Did you guys?
Yeah.
I got a couple. I got
but not many though, right?
Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth and Zilia Remastered. I think that's
yeah.
Two's respectable.
Yeah.
I got something that isn't a JRPG. I got Metal Gear Solid Delta.
Triangle.
Delta.
Nice.
Yeah. But other than that, I didn't really pick up any games. Like, I mean, that was just a gift. But like, yeah, I didn't personally pick up anything. I didn't get anything else. So yeah, it was a very like chill,
pretty light,
light like holiday. Because usually holiday seasons, like last year, I bought so many different things across like from
sales.
Black Friday to like to Christmas. It was just like constant. Like I was like, pick up this. But now it's
we made an episode last year about FOMO buying when it comes to the collecting side of things. Yeah. And we kind of mentioned touched on, we feel less FOMO when it comes to buying physical copies, that we're worried that things will sell out immediately or, because they're niche, JRPGs are generally thought of as like a niche genre. It'll be difficult to get a hold of some of these games physically if we want, to own them on console and all that. But yeah, I feel like us and other people I've observed, in the online world, we're kind of just letting, I guess, what's the expression there? Taking the foot off the wheel or gas pedal. Sorry, I do not drive.
No, I like that. I like that version better. So I'm just picturing like Emily just like laying back and put her foot.
No.
That's ladies and gentlemen, we don't recommend that. We don't recommend that.
Yes, that is dangerous. Don't do it. Even though Emily said she does it.
I don't drive right now.
Yes, sure.
No, I choose not to drive because it's expensive also. But and I don't need to.
Yes.
Yeah. But yeah, I think the FOMO thing is, and we did touch on this a bit in that episode, but I think what's helped me over the last year, and I think will hopefully continue to help me in this year, is understanding that, if I miss a game, if for some reason a game comes out, I'm really excited, or I'm not excited about, but like I'm afraid that it's going to sell out, and it does, and they don't reprint it. Like if I really want to play that game, if I really want to own that game, I can make that happen. it might cost more. It might be a bigger burden up front to do that, but I can do it. It's not going to be impossible for me. And I think I learned that by having done that already, right? Like I've said before, like I famously spent almost $200 on Blue Reflection, the first Blue Reflection game. That was a very hard to get game for a long time there. And I love it. And I'm not saying that I regret purchasing it, but it is kind of the example for me where it's like, I really wanted that game. And at the time, especially, it didn't look like there was any like chance of it being reprinted. It was not really in the zeitgeist. So I picked it up and I played it. And, you know, obviously
you ripped that Band-Aid off.
You're right. And like now that I've done that sort of thing before, it's like, okay, you know, chances are most of these games that I would be worried about them selling out, going out of print, I probably don't really want to play them that bad anyway. The ones that are maybe, I don't know, like there's always going to be that, but like for the most part, I think I'll probably be okay. But if I do decide, like I watch a video or something and somebody's really recommending it and it catches my eye and I'm like, oh man, I should have bought that when it came out. Well, I can still get it. I can still get it.
I think even then though, we're becoming more selective because maybe like I don't like buying like brand new games blind anymore, especially like if I've never played that franchise or game from that developer, et cetera, et cetera. I would rather play it digitally first before I commit to maybe making a substantial purchase on it. So I think part of that, because of how much we've collected already, we always have this library to go back to. Like we don't need to necessarily accumulate more and take chances on newer experiences that may or may not, you know, pan out well. You know, depending on how we feel about it. So for me, especially like a lot of those, you know, limited time print company sort of models that they've been doing, I've cared less, or I haven't cared that much in investing my time and energy into those and worrying about them and trying to snatch them up right away. And I don't financially, you know, at a place to do that. There's other ones I've been more selective though, trying to get a hold of because I know I love them, like Trails. Like I think we all three of us feel auto buy Trails at this point.
Yeah, that's like one of the few series that we're just like, no matter what, that's, you know, if I see a Xenoblade or, you know, Trails, these specific types of series that I'm passionate about, then yes.
And have a long-term history on. Like, even if it changes, maybe the next entry is not going to be our favorite, we'll still buy it to support it because we love the franchise as a whole.
Exactly.
I'll tell you though, I did pre-order a limited print game just this past week, and it was Tenchi no Uta. I think was a limited run. And the reason I did that, and here's just a freebie for marketers out there. For some reason, and I think a lot of people my age are getting really nostalgic for that like early 90s anime style. It's like, it's not good. I don't think like objectively, if I look at it, I'm like, anime looks better nowadays, I think. I'm very nostalgic for that style. So put out a game with that stuff front and center. And I'm like, okay, I'll buy it. So that's like the old JRPG that never came out here, right? Yeah, there's two of them, and it was on the engine TurboGrafx.
Yeah, I'll probably pick that up because I'm sure VGP will get it at some point.
Oh yeah, there'll be plenty of them.
Hopefully it's not a Grandia situation.
Yeah,
it probably won't be. It's not as big as Grandia. I don't think it's going to happen.
Worst case scenario, if you really want to own that game,
I just get it used.
You'll be able to. You'll be able to get your hands on it. It might hurt a little bit in the wallet.
You might want to try it digitally first before you spend a lot of money on it.
For me, because I confirmed copy coming. So
that's true. I can always borrow it from
you have to
try it.
And that's another thing, folks. If you have friends that have games, see if you can borrow. You know, or
also your library.
I mentioned before.
And also, yes, exactly, Emily. The library. Like I talked about this quite a few times on the podcast, but it's like I'm a huge proponent of using your library. It's there. It is, you know, you support your library. They want you to come in there and check these things out. And like,
but Dala, I thought library is books.
You thought wrong, Brandon.
Library isn't books.
My public library, the whole first floor are DVDs. And movies.
Like my library, you can check out like AV equipment. You can check out like all sorts of different things that you want. There, like they have record players and vinyl that you can check out if you want to go home and listen to vinyl.
My library has a podcast studio where I'm sitting right now to record. But
There's a green scene
in the library. They've got all sorts of stuff at the library.
They do actually. They do have like a little podcast studios and stuff like that.
We know that libraries aren't available to all countries, but if your country and your area, supports it, definitely a great resource to tap into.
Yeah,
I agree. Yeah.
But anyway, so collecting, right?
Collecting, yes.
I feel like maybe it would be useful to kind of talk about this in two bigger categories, retro and modern.
Yes.
So let's talk about retro to
sure.
kind of kick it off. We were talking a little bit before the show, and this may have come up on this podcast before, but like one of the issues that I've run into as a collector of retro, which was how I started 7 years ago or whatever, when I started collecting, I have basically achieved what I set out to collect. Right. I did it. Unfortunately, most of my collecting happened when prices were about as high as they were ever going to be. So bummer from that perspective. But like at this point, I've slowed down on my retro collecting just because honestly, like there aren't that many games on my list anymore. And like what collectors usually do, especially if you watch like collectors on YouTube that have like big channels, they're, hunting for games all the time. Often what they'll do is they'll set a collecting goal. And then as they approach that goal, they'll move the goalposts. They'll move it back. They'll say, okay, I'm going to get this other stuff too. I'm going to collect Super Nintendo games and Sega Genesis games, and then add PlayStation, add PlayStation 2. And there's nothing wrong with that. Like if that's what you want to do, but like for me, that was never my
intention.
And the once or twice that I kind of fumbled my way into trying to do that, I didn't enjoy it. Right.
The Wii U.
The Wii U collection. And I was gonna collect all of the Nintendo published Wii U games because I was like, that seems feasible.
Right? If you want a full collection, because I feel like especially on YouTube, it sounds catchy. I'm going to have the full collection of this system.
Yeah,
exactly.
It sounds nice, right? It's catchy.
Yep, and I thought it would be a fun little thing to do. It turned out like it wasn't really for me. Like I was like, I don't really feel a sense of fulfillment when I get these games. Like,
are you that attached to the Wii U?
I mean, not anymore. Xenoblade X is on the Switch, so
that's true.
Yeah,
very true.
I could see like if you're nostalgic for a specific system and it's like you're passionate about that system, then you want to collect for that. That's fine. But like you end up like just purchasing a bunch of games that you're never going to play, or they're not even good. A lot of shovelware, basically. Like
when you go from like the DS and the Wii and those generations onward, like
my God,
is just there's so much. But having said that, like if that like you can absolutely do that if you enjoy it. Like if in filling out the entire PS2 US collection is something that fills you with happiness and you can do it, then I think that's great. But like that was never my thing. So like I never really moved the goalposts for myself. It was, I want JRPGs in particular, across all the console generations, games, especially ones that were of interest to me, but even some that I wasn't super familiar with, just to kind of build out that library of games.
And I feel like this is like the first, or sorry, I was going to say, I think the moving goalpost portion of collectors, that's very much like the introductory, like it's something that we all kind of stumble in, right? When we start collecting, because oftentimes when people want to collect, they only collect a couple things. They're like, oh, I'll just have my favorites, right? Or my childhood games. I'll be satisfied with that. But the hunger grows, right? When you start collecting, you get the collecting bug. And you realize, I have all these, like the space and, funds, and it could be bigger. It could be grander. It could be really cool because I really like this feeling of collecting. But I think we've also maybe entered, at least for myself, the phase where we maybe have over collected and want to scale back a bit.
Yeah.
And I think that also just gives you more perspective, right? That's like a phase you at least need to reach or grow out of if you want to, continue with your collecting journey. Like it's a bump in the road, and everyone else has their own journey, of course. But for me, it's just, the realities of collecting. It's not a bad thing to be ashamed of or anything, but
I mean,
it's something we all experience.
It ebbs and flows with age too. If you look at it, like when you're younger, it's like you're more inclined to be like, hey, I just got my big boy job. I'm going to spend that money on things that I love, and I love games, and I want to collect things. I've seen people collect them online. That's something I want to get into. And then, as you get older, you realize, okay, like now I'm just taking up space. Space is money.
I have to move.
Space is time. I have to move. There's so many like logistical things that happen as you get older.
Messy middle stuff in our life.
And like things get more expensive. You have more expectations, and so like you start to kind of have to either move the goalpost back or scale down what your expectations are. And so like I think it's just there's people out there, and we're talking about this like we've moved out of that phase kind of where you might still be in that phase that you love it, and that's totally fine.
It's totally cool.
Yeah. And I'm not fully convinced that I won't end up back in one of the other.
Yeah, who knows?
At some point, maybe I will fall in love with 8-bit NES games.
Yeah.
Like I have a respectable small collection of NES games right now. Maybe I'll get the bug in a few years and start going ham on that. And
I can't quit you.
One thing that's new in my game room, and I don't think we'll be able to see this from the angle of the camera, but I have all of my retro consoles lined up in front of the TV now, so that they all have very easy access to be able to just like grab a Super Nintendo game and pop it in. I've got like switchers set up on either side of the TV so I can get to the right console. And like I was like, I have all these games and I've collected so many, right? All the games I had as a kid and then some. And it's like I need to play them more, right? I can bust out the Pi and just play them on my PC, and that's fine. Like that's great too.
Yeah.
But like if I have the cart and I've got my chair, and I bought a bunch of 8BitDo wireless controllers that connect via the receiver thing, like I'm just going to make it easy for myself to enjoy these things that I've collected. So I'm kind of in the phase of collecting where it's like I'm just going to sit back and enjoy what I've done so far. At some point, I'm sure I will dive back in and start getting more stuff, because I have learned about myself that I do have a collector's appetite. Like I do like that, but just right now I'm just kind of enjoying having them and playing them.
Yeah, for sure. And I think we're all also going towards adjacent collecting things like figures, trading cards. Does not necessarily mean we have to keep
even more
collecting.
Dangerous.
Yes. It is dangerous. It's very dangerous. So that's a different way, I guess, to move the goalpost, having different interests that bleed into each other. So it's also very dangerous, something to be self-conscious of, but it's also okay to take part if it brings you joy.
Yeah, I mean, you guys got me into convinced me or rubbed off on me to buy Trails figures. And,
we didn't tell you to. we just shared our passion.
But you kept showing it to me, and I was just like, I need it. I need this now.
Cool. I was very. Yeah.
Brandon guilted me every time.
I just want to apologize in front of everyone. Yeah. Sorry for bullying you, Dala. But yeah, no, you got some of the Trails figures now. And
and I have others pre-ordered that I'll get whenever they come out. And so like I've it's got the bug for that. So that's a whole change in collecting outside of just games and stuff like that. But I feel like I'm right there with Brandon as well. Like I've been kind of getting this feeling, and I think 2026 might be kind of that year for that, is to kind of sit back and just kind of play some of my games that I've been wanting to play on my either retro my backlog, my retro consoles and things like that. Just sit back and actually just enjoy it, because I have like my CRT back there. Like I need to sit down and use that more, and I feel like I don't utilize that as much because I'm so busy doing other things. So
I think that's definitely a good way to look at it. Like, even though we may not be spending a lot of money on retro games, whether we still think the price is too high, we don't have any that are on our radar that we need to necessarily have in our collection at this moment in time. Definitely, I think if you are a collector, it's always important to think back and enjoy what you have.
Yeah,
exactly.
One aspect of retro collecting that I hadn't really thought about before just recently, I think I've always kind of known it, it's just been more subconscious and I hadn't really put words to it, is that playing modern, and I'm thinking specifically JRPGs, in particular as a genre, playing modern games, I'm kind of spoiled now for the quality of the writing and better voice work and more mature systems and better
less grindy
life. Yeah. So it's honestly a harder genre, even for me, who's been playing them since I was a baby boy, to go back and play the older games that haven't been like given the remaster treatment, just because like they're harder to go back to, and that's also been kind of a thing where I'm like, okay, technically there are some games still on my list, but I'm not rushing out to get them right now. Like the games that I have remaining, it's probably like if I come across them and I have some money that I've earmarked for this sort of thing at a convention or something, I might pick up, but I'm like not hunting for them. Like Steam, what's it called? Steambot Chronicles on PS. That one's kind of always been sort of on my radar, and I've almost picked it up a few times. It's always been really expensive, $200+. So I've always been kind of curious about it. I've always kind of wanted to have it. I've never done it. But like, I may pick it up at some point, but it's not like I'm not searching eBay and Mercari and stuff for it like I was for a while there, you know?
Yeah.
That makes sense, because like that's kind of how I feel. Is like I'm not in a point where I'm searching for, especially from a retro perspective. I'm like not outwardly looking for anything that I need to purchase at this moment. There are things that I probably would like to have or buy that I don't have in my collection right now, but it's like kind of has to have that nice, like everything has to kind of align correctly, where I have like I'm in at some place like a convention. I've got extra cash that I'm already ready kind of like to use, and I see it and like that's it. Like I'm not, outwardly going looking for these things either.
For me too, like as someone who has not gone to like back in the catalog of JRPGs and collecting and only collects for certain systems, I'm honestly like just waiting for a lot of the older games that have intrigued me to get that remaster treatment, because like Brandon touched on, like it's really difficult sometimes to find the time to spend on a lot of those older JRPGs that can be a bit of a time sink and not the easiest to necessarily, hook up on those older systems. And for me, because I've also gone into a lot more, like more streaming, it's just easier to stream some of those remasters on my PC. Rather than try to play them on my own on, older hardware and try to find the time in doing that.
Well, and that kind of reminds me of another kind of subtopic of this, which is creating content. Like, and obviously not everybody or even a majority of people listening are content creators, but I'm sure there are some.
May not relate.
And the impulse to pick up games, to collect games for the purpose of making content is something that I definitely felt for a while and have since had to back away from. Because my shelves filled up with so many games, and I'm like, well, I need to make a video about pickups or whatever. So I'm going to buy a whole bunch of stuff.
That's true.
And I would have some ridiculous haul videos, and they were fun. It's fun to look at brand new things and talk about it. But ultimately, like, how many of those games have I really played? How many of them did I genuinely want? Probably not. If it's 25%, I'm doing it. So, you know what I mean? Like, so for anybody out there who does either make content or is thinking about it, just be cautious about the collecting side of it, because it can be very easy to fall into that trap. Now, look, if you do it and you get 1 billion views and your career launches because of, more power to you. Like, obviously, it worked out for you, did not for me in that sense. And I think
I will say,
not going to be. It's not like the ticket to online stardom. It can be a fun thing to do. It can be a fun.
I think if you look at the recent trends, especially say on YouTube and other platforms, collecting is not the biggest like niche within gaming. Like that's definitely, I do not recommend to do just pickups to try to get views. Like you're going to be very disappointed if that's the goal, right? Of doing that aspect. Definitely collect for yourself first. Don't collect for others to potentially watch your stuff. Like it's not a given, especially not anymore. I feel like collecting content was a lot more popular maybe 10 years ago, maybe 5.
I would say like 10 years,
5 years ago,
like a peak, and then 5 years was like the beginning of the decline, and then it's
yes,
kind of
I think so.
Then.
That like I personally haven't had any pickup videos on my channel. It's all about collecting. Like, I think there's more interesting nuanced topics if you want to talk about collecting, say on YouTube or anywhere else, that people are more likely to want to watch and, you know, be engaged with, rather than just see someone kind of show off what expensive game they bought. It's kind of, I think, definitely a downward trend in that respect, especially given everyone's financial crisis all around the world.
So it's totally
a little out of touch.
It's totally fine to do it, but just like be aware that it's probably
very aware.
Like the one-way ticket to stardom.
No.
Yeah. And you touched upon a good thing, Emily. It's like also that factors into all of this is like, you know, the current, you know, climate of like the economy across the world in general. It's people have less money that they want to put towards these things, or they're more like there's like a little bit of a cautious behavior that is happening across people because they don't know where things are going. So they're like, okay, I don't want to spend too much money because I don't know if like you know, there's layoffs every week. There's these things going on. Like I'm a product of that right now. But at the same time, it's just like, you know, there's a lot of people that are like, you know, I should probably be cautious and not overspend.
Spend as much as I used to. Yeah,
exactly.
Like, I think the days of, you know, when people are getting stimulus checks and, you know, had extra money to burn during the pandemic are long gone. And we're also seeing, I think, somewhat of a decline in retro game prices too, which is, I guess, relevant to this conversation. So it might be a buyer's market because a lot of people are selling right now because they either, you know, they fail the hobby, like they're no longer interested in, which is fine. And there's also people like they think, you know, prices are going to continue to go down. So they're trying to sell when they can at the peak of prices.
Exactly.
And that's just what we're, I think, observing right now. Maybe 2026, we'll see this trend, you know, go more in that direction. Maybe not. Maybe it'll pick back up again. But honestly, I don't really see that happening. To see, like, there might be certain like cases of games that, you know, won't see any drops in prices. Maybe will continue to climb because of just their popularity. But I think they're going to be few and far between.
Yeah, like only like the grails, I think, will continue to like
Chrono Trigger, sure. Even if there's a remaster, remake, I think
Earthbound.
They'll always be expensive.
Yeah, there's like specific types of games. Like
there are games that defy the law of supply and demand and are just super expensive. Earthbound, there are so many copies of Earthbound.
Exactly.
It should not be a 450.
Yeah.
Pokemon.
They were giving that game away at that point, like at some point with Earthbound. Like it should not be that much money, but it is just because it's
because it is.
Pay it. Yeah, people pay that money so that the market is okay with it.
And I think investors are moving away from video games, like the speculative investors. They're going towards TCGs, which I think we touched on before. And even those markets are not stable. Like if you look at some TCGs, like was it Yu-Gi-Oh! Like 4 years ago, were really expensive. Now all the reprints are happening. The cards are worthless, or not worthless, but they're not as expensive as they used to be.
Right.
Most people lost money. They invested in those.
And most people don't want to fight a bunch of middle-aged men at Costco for Pokemon cards.
Yeah.
So,
no.
I mean.
Yeah. One Piece is seeing that right now. And I'm like, I think they're going to reprint Bandai Namco. They're not going to just be stingy and let everything be super expensive, not get a piece of that pie.
Yeah. Yeah. Bandai Namco is pretty good at doing those things.
Yeah. Like Digimon, they've reprinted. So I'm not.
Yeah. I just realized they had a pop-up near me, like at the Japanese mall that like they said that One Piece.
You got to connect me with this. Buy me stuff.
I didn't even know.
Didn't we talk about that? Because I was
said exists, but a pop-up.
There's a new pop-up. Like so, they have the One Piece. They have a One Piece card area where you could buy and like have tournaments and like play games with people. And then next to it, they had just like whatever they would put in there. But apparently, like recently, I saw someone post on it online that was like they changed it and it's like all has like all this Digimon cards and things like that. So they were doing this a whole like Digimon pop-up there, and I was like, oh. But like I have a feeling like it's been around for probably the last couple to few weeks that they're probably out of stock with most of these stuff.
I've gotten more into model kits for Digimon. I just got the Amplified War Greymon. I'm really excited to build him.
That's fun.
Yeah. But I think also with One Piece, the live action's good in season 2. Like I think people are, looking at some of these IPs very speculatively, but for Digimon, right? The Time Stranger did very well for them. It's like their best-selling game in a very long time, and they're continuing, their waves of DLC and things. So, It'll be interesting. All the markets of all the nerdy, geeky stuff we like.
Yeah.
But as we've said before on the show, we don't recommend speculative purchasing of any
Please don't.
collectible physical item. Like, if you somehow luck into an original Van Gogh or something, that's probably going to be worth some money. The video games that you're buying you're not retiring.
And things advertised as limited and collector's edition.
No, people are getting
No
closer to that, and
Yeah, I wouldn't rely on that as like, if you're trying to save up for your retirement and want to have something. I
think most people who listen to this podcast, they don't think that way.
No, exactly.
And I think all of us, we just really like having the things, and we don't want to miss out on the cool things that they're making, which I totally understand. I for one, I'm always afraid of buying a game, or missing out on a low price of a game when I still had the chance. But I'm trying to, ease that thought away, be more selective of things I actually do cherish in my collection, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But we talked about retro stuff. Shall we move on to modern?
Yeah. I think
there's more retro topics to
get into modernity.
Modernity. I like that.
Thank you.
So we mentioned our recent video game purchases, a couple of modern games, but we're also kind of slowing down there too. I've noticed. For me, I just got the Mirror Edition for Expedition 33 because that finally went out of pre-order and released at the end of November. But outside of that, I haven't really bought anything outside of, Trails in the Sky First Chapter. I think that was the last modern game that I bought physically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me too.
And then Trails Beyond the Horizon, which is coming out this month.
Right.
Exactly.
Pre-order. I did also pick up the Japanese Corpse Party tetralogy.
Oh,
okay.
Because they canceled the localization of that.
They canceled
they did.
No, sorry, the localization, the Western,
the Western release.
Yeah.
But the Asian release
has
in
there that I think that maybe Nintendo was like, I don't know, that's kind of gross.
What gave it away? The fact that the game's called Corpse Party?
Well, it's not even that. Like,
no, they released Corpse Parties before.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't think it's the fact that it's like gory. There's some other stuff that I'm like, if Nintendo, which is like famously like the super horny weeb company now, is like, I don't know, guys, then there's pretty.
There's gotta be stuff in there.
It is funny. Nintendo's come a long way.
They have.
It's true. From a toy company to
PlayStation is now the uptight church marm. That's like, we can't have that. But even Nintendo, like, sorry guys, no, not over here. Not over here.
Nah.
They've got, I think, with the Switch 2, they've been a little bit more lenient because I think they got a lot of publicity on how many like horny games they had on the Switch eShop.
Yeah, like it's just like
everybody would talk
about it. I thought they cleansed the eShop where it's no longer like on the first page when you open up the store. You just see the horny games there.
It's not necessarily that kind, but it is still a lot of like shovelware, like looking at the store. It's faster though on the Switch 2. It doesn't load like a
molasses on the Switch 1.
Yeah, the Switch 1 was pretty rough.
So that's good. But anyway, but all that being said, Corpse Party, I did pick that up on the Switch, the Japanese version, which has English on there. So it's all good.
So do we see, I guess, more imports happening? Because I did the same thing for Ryza DX version. I bought the PS5 box set, the Asian English version. And I sold my Switch copies for the upgrade. So that's how I justified that. But do we see just more Asian exclusives going forward for physical games, especially in the JRPG genre?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think.
And what's the implications, right?
Yeah, like
tariffs.
And would I be okay with that? Like in the absence of ridiculous tariffs, would I be okay with that? Maybe. Maybe. Maybe, honestly.
Yeah.
Because I think the days of picking up a lot of JRPGs in store, like brand new releases, are kind of in the past, unfortunately.
Yeah.
The days of picking up games in stores is getting
in general.
It's moving in that direction.
Moving away, yeah.
Though I do see some of my local Costco for 4 games total, but there's some.
Yeah. They'll have 1 or 2 and they are priced cheaper than most other places, which is nice.
Yeah. MSRP is cheaper. That's true.
Yeah.
You save at least $5.
Exactly, which is it's something.
It's something.
Yep.
But you're also paying for the Costco membership. So I guess
but hey, you get your cash back if you have the right card.
That's true.
Right. Yeah, yes. I got $10 back last year. So
congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations. You buy yourself something nice.
I need to use that. I
definitely had more than 10, but okay. I buy everything at Costco.
I only went to Costco like twice last year, so that's pretty good.
Well, that's on you. But yes.
But yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Like I would be more or less okay with some of the more niche JRPGs having Asian English and importing.
My issue is how long sometimes importing takes.
Yeah.
I had to wait for Ryza DX for like a month before it arrived. Like, when's it coming? And they have to use, some of the special shipping because it's cheaper. It doesn't really do the track like destination to destination. Like, I hope it didn't get lost. It's always in the back of my mind. And there's always VGP, which they do get copies in. It's just the Canadian dollar right now, especially compared to the USD, their prices, like their MSRP prices are a lot higher than ours. Yeah. Like even after you do the currency exchange. And it's just, I don't know if it's worth buying some of the new games on there without deep discounts that we're used to during their sales.
Like my biggest issue with those things is that like, okay, like it's fine when you're picking up like a game that's been out for a while, but if you're excited and you want to play, let's say like Trails Beyond the Horizon, let's say if someone picked it up from one of these things and you have to wait like three weeks to a month, depending on how awful like shipping ends up being, you never know.
Sometimes the collector's edition's like that.
Yeah, well, yeah, definitely. Collector's edition aside, because there's always some sort of
there's always a delay now. It used to be good, like 4 years ago. It used to be good.
Yeah, not so much anymore. But just from like a basic, like, hey, like I want this game. It's just coming out. I want to play it.
I don't want to double dip.
Have to wait. Yeah, exactly. You don't want to have to buy it digitally and then also the physical. Like you don't want that to be the standard. No. You have to like, because that's just a lot of money at that point. It would be convenient if like we continue having US versions just for the sake of like you can most likely get it at least within either release day or within a day or two of the release date. Yeah. So like from that perspective, like just within like for just new releases would be nice.
Agreed.
But if you're hitting the backlog, it's fine, I guess.
But I don't know. The other side of the coin is, do they just stop any physical copies? Like, I guess it's nice to have an option, even if it takes much longer. But I don't know. It's a slippery slope, right? It's like, it'd be nice to have an options physical, even though it's $20 more. I don't know. Like, at what point do we stop, the at least it's this kind of statements? At least we get it.
Those are the most like self-damaging statements you can make.
Right?
It could be worse. At least Nintendo is giving you an option to have a thing you
a physical thing like a game key card.
Yeah, like
at
least you could sell it.
It's like but I could already do that. This is just we're
just burying our head in the sand at that point.
I know. It's like the idea of lesser of two evils.
Right. It's like
still evil. Like
I prefer the morer of two goods. All right.
Exactly. I want two positive things.
It's you 1 step forward, 2 steps back is how I look at it.
Yeah. So I don't want to turn this into another, because it's not even really. I don't even consider game key cards to be part of the collection conversation.
No, it's not at all.
Like it's not a thing. Like it's not for collectors.
We could do another episode on that if things shift. Like things are promising. Looks like there's some consideration. There'll be fewer of them.
Yeah,
we'll see. We'll see what happens actually.
And as of right now, like we still have like the PS5, like the Sony to fall back on. They are doing more or less like they have a lot of the games that come out, the third-party games.
The Xbox Studio ones, not so much. But
we don't talk about
other
Xbox.
Ones.
Xbox is its own situation.
Yeah.
But like from like a physical perspective, I feel like there's still options out there.
I think so. I think they haven't dried up yet.
Yeah, we're not like it's not fully doom and gloom yet for that.
No.
But in terms of like, I feel like if we're looking at 2026, we still don't know a lot of games like that are coming out still. So like Nintendo hasn't really announced anything. There's like outside of like
Fire Emblem.
We don't really know. So like,
well, for the JRPG sphere, by the way, like there are some other ones like Tamagotchi, whatever. I think that's one or something. Or
there's plenty of like
not Tamagotchi, the one that sounds like Tamagotchi.
Tamagotchi Life.
Tamagotchi, that one.
Tamagotchi, yeah.
Life.
Yeah, so there are things like, non-JRPG that are coming out, but like from a JRPG perspective, there's like very few that we know about right now. But there are hints coming from like, I think Square Enix has hinted there's going to be some things that they're going to talk about.
Well, they have Avengers of Elliot coming out.
Adventures of Elliot.
Dragon Quest VII Reimagined.
Exactly. And Yuji Horii also like, he had another interview or something like that where he was just like, yeah, we prepare for some more announcements because he can't keep his mouth quiet about anything right now. So
maybe they
Chrono
let
Trigger,
him say that.
Chrono Trigger. But yeah, either way, like we're at a point where like our perception might change over the course of the year if things get announced. But for the most part, like unless I'm at a point where unless I'm going to play it day one or I'm reviewing that game, I probably won't like pick it up right away.
Yeah.
Like
sales happen so quickly nowadays physically.
Yeah.
Like
there's a lot of sales throughout the year. Yeah.
If you're not going to get to it right away, wait.
Exactly.
I always wanted to be like the person who was like supporting the genre on principle, right? Like I always wanted to buy the game early, full price, so that I could like make a statement with my wallet. And that's fine. But like my wallet needs a little more
relief
DLC nowadays than it did maybe back then. So I can't.
There's so many games now
anymore. There's also so many.
They heard your wallet back then, and they are reciprocating now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So it's just too much. So that's where I'm at with like the modern collecting sphere. I think I'm with you there, where it's like if I am going to play it day one, then I will most likely buy it right away. And pre-ordering is just not like I've pre-ordered a few games. Like I pre-ordered the Somnium Files on the PS5, the new one.
I do that too as well.
Which exclusive for the past year.
Yeah.
Just because I'd rather have them all on PlayStation.
Fair.
But like, yeah, I don't know. There's those series where I will like be there day one.
Trails.
Yeah.
And Trails East.
Falcom.
Falcom in general.
Falcom in general, yeah.
Fire Emblem. Yeah. Most likely I'll pick up the next one.
Yeah, I'll probably get that day one.
Three Houses sequel, and wasn't crazy about Three Houses, but
this one looks promising though.
Optimistic. There'll be no monastery.
Yeah,
hopefully they'll use the classic gameplay and not something else that they just made up.
They're gonna make it like the mobile game that just came out.
Shadows.
That would be horrifying.
But how do you guys feel about? We talked about retro earlier. If there's a lot more HD remasters where there's not like added content, it's just maybe there'll be some quality of life enhancements, some up-resing of say pixels or something. Would you be interested in buying those and adding them to your collection if you already own the originals at this point in time?
For convenience, yes, but like I feel like we've been spoiled with things like Tactics, like remaster, where like
it's so different, right?
Yeah, like they put so much love and care into that like remaster, and like that should be the baseline of like if you're going to remaster a game from the backlog of your like your company, your publishing developers, so like you love that. It's like it's your baby, it's your thing. Like you don't want to just put out like half baked remasters, which have been done in the past.
Yeah.
Simple ports. Yeah.
I wonder how that will change as generations go on, because I think a lot of the reason that some games like Final Fantasy Tactics got so much care was because they had to. Or like not that they had to, but like they had to rebuild the game anyway. Like they didn't have the code, they didn't have the assets, they kind of had to build it all anyway. So they were like, well, why don't we go the extra mile with it if we have to put work into it anyway? If games, if they still have the source code, if they still have the assets, are they going to be as motivated to put all that extra work in going forward? I don't know. And I also don't know whether it'll be as necessary. Like if backwards compatibility continues to be a thing, if the PlayStation 6 comes out and it plays 4, 5, and 6 games, like maybe it's less of an issue, but I don't know. To answer your question, depending on the game, I might again more as like a message to the publisher, be like,
would you personally play it, you think, like that version rather than the original?
If I got the urge to play it, I think I'd play the remaster.
Yeah, it depends like on the quality of the remaster, because like sometimes they're just like not great, and so you're better off if you do have the original. It's going to be. It
seems
a
like
better
they're learning
experience.
though to do better ones.
Learning. Yeah, I wish they would have learned for Chrono Cross.
Yeah,
like giving that a little bit more love in terms of like, because I know they don't
even
have
after the
patches.
It's better on the PS4 after the patches.
It's better, but it's like I feel like they should have given
no physical
that,
for that
like,
though.
The tactics. They should have given that also like a tactics love, because like that is a beloved game.
Yeah,
is it beloved? I feel like most people criticize it more than say they like it.
I would say the hardcore fans are very hardcore about it.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's divisive mostly because it's a sequel to Chrono Trigger. I think it's a great game, like in and of itself.
Right. So it's
yeah.
Or it's an interesting game. I have complicated.
Right.
It's a very interesting evolutionary dead end for
the genre. And for that matter, like between that and let's say Final Fantasy VIII Remaster, like the fact that they did nothing with the backgrounds, just like really ruins the experience, because you have like these very high rendered like characters. And just like the blurriest background.
And that's the impression new fans like me will have of it.
Yeah, exactly. So like, that's where like I'm a little iffy on like remasters, on like, it's going to be a case by case situation. I would love for them to give, treat their IPs with love like they have done with, let's say, Final Fantasy Tactics. I wish they would do that across all of their games. But, it depends on how much they believe it's worth doing that.
Do we think we'll be more remakes in the future? Or do you think because of, studio cost, time, and just the general economy, they're going to maybe stick more to just remasters going forward for a lot of these JRPG studios?
I think for a flagship title, if a studio wants to do a flagship title, doing a full remake is maybe a safer bet than doing something brand new. If you take a beloved game from 16-bit, 32-bit generation and fully remake it, like like Final Fantasy VII Remake, or obviously like Trails in the Sky or whatever,
Dragon Quest,
like you are
Trials of Mana,
like I think you're much more likely to draw in not just new fans, but like the fans that already are there and are excited about
they'll play it again.
That thing. They'll play it again because it's a remake. It's not just
it's a different experience.
Remaster. Yeah. So it almost feels safer to me than a new, like, especially than a new IP, right? Which is always a gamble. Not that I don't want them to make new IPs. I really would prefer that they make more new IPs, but
you need a dose of freshness, I would say.
Need it, otherwise you are just remaking the same 12 games over and over. And at a certain point, I feel like you start to lose something there.
Yeah. And not every remake needs to be a Final Fantasy VII remake. Like there's plenty of remakes that are AA, very like they're not as expensive to do as
like Trails
remake.
Trails is just a 1-to-1 remake. Just
it's
the combat basically and the graphics. Biggest changes.
They're smartly using like an engine they already have. They've modified it, but like using an engine they already have, using a story they already written, like that's a smart thing to do. Like I would love to see like some more remakes of games that we never got. Like I just recently started on my Mr. Pi playing Treasure of the Rudra, and I'm like, I can't, but like we missed this game. Like they didn't think that we would play this game. Like what was going on there? I think they'd fully shipped it to like 32-bit localization at that point, because it was like the last thing Square Enix put out on Super Nintendo. And it's like, oh, this is good. Like this is really good. And
the end of the SNES era, like we missed out on a few things because at that point they were kind of moving on. And they just
they put out Alive recently.
Yeah, they did.
Maybe they'll do it. Well,
maybe we'll see Terra Nigma one day too, as well.
Terra Nigma would be great.
Well, that came out in Europe at least, so I think there's a possibility.
Yeah. So there's translation of it.
Treasure of the Rudra. The localization on Terra Enigma is like a little rough, but
they can smooth that over easily. I'm sure by now.
Smooth that over for sure.
Exactly, they can clean it up. But yeah, I think overall, like remasters and remakes are like an interesting area when it comes down to like our collecting bits, because like they kind of compare and contrast to the things that we already collect. And it's like I said, I feel it's just going to be a case by case basis, and I probably will pick them up. It depends on how like soon I want to, like if it's a game I really like love, like if I say Terra Enigma or any of these other games that I'm like just passionate about, then like I'll probably pick that up day one. But if it's like there's plenty of games out there that I'm like, okay, I don't really need to buy that yet.
That's fair. I think because I don't have as extensive of a retro collection as you guys, like for me, it makes sense for me to pick up those and, not deal with the older ones, because I don't have a lot of those older systems and I don't really have room for them.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Like, how are you going to play?
I don't have a way to play. I don't have a CRT.
Right.
So I don't want to buy, a retro tank at this point for, the HDI. Cables, I should, but it's just hard to
it's
invest time and energy for that.
Unless you are like, I am committed to playing, at least 10 PlayStation
on stream or something
games on stream. I would invest in a retro tank.
Yeah, that's really what my head's at right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like a luxury.
Are there any, Emily, games like from the older generations that you don't have easy access to that you particularly would like to see remakes or even just modern remasters for?
At the top of my head, Xenosaga
for sure. Yeah.
Well, we are going to get that in 2026.
You heard
it on my vision board. It's on my vision board, guys.
You better. But yeah, Skies of Arcadia, like I feel like I say these ones all the time. I hope someday. Someday.
I feel there's a lot of PS2 ones.
So many PS2 ones. It's like more of the dot hack ones, the expensive ones.
Nice. The original quadrilogy.
Yes.
Quadrilogy.
Some of the Fire Emblems we never got would be amazing. But honestly, at this point, I would like to have them be remakes.
Full remakes.
Yeah, like Genesis of the Holy War. I want a remake.
Yeah, that would be nice.
And stuff like that. But at this point, I don't know. I feel like I have so many other games I own, whether through my shared Steam library or behind me. Like, I could spend, years on these and be content.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you just started playing Final Fantasy X remaster, so that's.
I did. The game I had issues getting into. I'm actually really liking it. I'm 8 hours in right now. It's good. Okay. It's good. I think I'm further than I ever was before. I don't recall any of it. So.
Are you in Luca?
Let's see. Where was I? We did the Blitzball.
Okay, so you just did the Blitzball. Yeah, that's a good.
How did you love it?
How
did you love the Blitzball?
So what happened was I didn't get the super move that you get, interacting with the Blitzball on the ship, and because I didn't realize that the words were memories. I'm like, well, what are they throwing at me here? Mm-hmm. It takes me too long to process mini games for some reason. And then I scored a goal initially, and then we were tied for a while there. Actually, no, we were losing, and then Titus had to tap out. Waka had to cut back in, and I used his special move to score. So we were tied, went to overtime, and then I lost.
Oh.
I know.
But that's a typical experience. I want you to know. It's a typical experience. That is the experience.
I got the cutscenes. You want to get those cutscenes if you won, right?
Yeah.
So
I was close though. I was close. I just lost my
as a reward.
I didn't get creamed.
Winning is not that great. It's like, it's fine.
It's just an accomplishment. I beat this game. I beat this AI.
There are people that genuinely love the Blitzball system.
Blitzball,
that's what I hear. I don't know.
There are the world is made up of all kinds of people. Is what I.
That's true.
I don't think I'm going to go for Waka's ultimate weapon. I don't think I'm going to go for any of the ultimate weapons. So I think that's probably
all extremely irritating to get.
That's what I hear. So I'm like, no.
What, you don't want to do the 1,000 lightning?
We're doing a main playthrough here.
Dodge.
Yeah, main playthrough. That's fair.
Yeah, that's
Getting
fair.
Some of the hidden aeons is fun. That's cool.
That's true. They are cool. I just got Ifrit.
Yeah.
Nice.
Aeons are cool. The Mega Sisters is one of the hidden ones. I think that's fun from Final Fantasy 4.
Yeah.
I haven't played 4, so I guess I wouldn't really get the reference.
Yeah,
but they're
cool.
Yeah. They're just cool to see.
Yeah.
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 True.
Final Fantasy X is great. That's also on
I
my list
had
of
some people in my
replays.
stream saying they would like a full on remake of that one. I don't know if that necessarily needs it at this point.
Yeah,
Even though the HD remaster is kind of funny.
It is.
Watching all the faces.
How do you like the faces? Like they're
very smooth.
Yeah,
the faces like
faces are rough. It's weird. Like when you get into the PlayStation 2 era, like those games like Final Fantasy X and like Shadow Hearts Covenant, where they're already like fully animated and voice acted, even if it's not like the best of the best quality and all that.
It's impressive.
It's still like I almost like a remake. It feels like I don't know, like what new am I getting out of this?
No.
It looks a little better and it sounds a little better. Like,
well, I would like it if the trials were better.
They can refine it, I think. Refine the formula.
I had no hints about how to do them, and it took me a long time.
Oh, the spheres and
the sphere. Yeah.
And they're like, oh, I had to do that this entire time? It's so simple. But they did not make it seem like you're supposed to do that.
I think if it was laid out on a 2D plane, it would be so easy. But like because you're in that 3D space and you're having to like go around to different places, it's like it's harder to connect the dots.
It's hard to connect and know what you're like. You can interact with this at this point. I'm like, oh, I was supposed to do that. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny. Well,
I have to get
go
harder.
back
We'll see.
to the faces. Have you ever seen do you remember how they looked on the PS2?
Mm-hmm.
A little bit. I remember them looking beautiful on the PS2.
They're incredible actually on the PS2. Like they look really well done and really well animated, and they move and everything. That it's just sad that was lost in the translation.
Inexplicably. Why would you?
Yeah.
What was
they had to rebuild it, right? And someone else outsourced it.
Yeah,
it
was good of a job.
Like those are the things like I would probably appreciate if they did like a full remake, just to kind of like
recapture that niceness.
Yeah,
I agree.
Because like that's the kind of game that like you can remaster it or remake it and make it how your like head or your mind envision it as a kid when you played it on the PS2. Like that's how your mind translated it.
I think the way I would like the Final Fantasy X remake is if they did it super AAA, Final Fantasy VII remake quality of presentation, but if they did it like simulated one continuous shot like the modern God of War games, I think that would be, that's how you remake Final Fantasy X.
Yeah, they keep changing the camera angles and it's weird. I'm like, oh, this is interesting but weird.
Yeah, just one continuous shot like from start to finish. That would be cool.
That would be cool.
That would be nice. Final Fantasy X would be a great one to see.
Yeah, but I'm enjoying the remaster. Anyway, to get back on topic
we're like
here.
Way off topic right now.
Sorry.
No, it's okay.
No, it was fun. It was a good topic. But yeah, I think from a modern perspective, is there anything else that you guys are looking for or wanting to do or not do this year?
Be more selective.
Yeah.
For me, because I have the opportunity to play a lot of games digitally before I, need to pre-order them. Definitely just be more selective in choosing which ones go on my shelf after I play them, or if I don't have the opportunity to play them around a release, just kind of vet them a little better before I decide at a certain price point to go buy them.
That makes sense.
Yeah. I'm kind of in a similar boat. I feel like I need to continue the trend that I have been on where I'm a little more choosy and not as worried about missing stuff because it's fine. It's okay. And
honestly, these games are not going to, like the new ones are not going to be hard to find within the next couple of years, especially from the major publishers.
Yeah.
Even smaller ones, like if you look at Gung Ho, what they did with the Lunar remaster, like everyone was scrambling to get a copy thinking, oh, they're not going to reprint more, but they did.
Yeah.
They did. It's even now discounted.
I know. I wish they would bring back Grandia like that.
They didn't publish them themselves, but it's sad. But you can buy the Switch version if you want, the Asian English.
I guess that's true. On the Switch 2, play pretty well.
But maybe they'll, because they own the rights to that game, so maybe they'll do a PS5 version. I don't know.
Yeah, because I was gonna buy that when they brought it back, and then Emily bought it from under me.
I bought it out from under you. I still have not played it.
I still think about that.
Still not played it.
It's a grudge I'm gonna hold till forever.
At the end of time.
I will reference this multiple times throughout
I also
the years.
think that I'm gonna like be focusing more on digital this year, which is kind of
wild to say, right?
Wild to say and to even think. Like I love being able to play a game on Steam, and then like if I want to play, if I go somewhere, if I want to just sit upstairs, play on the Steam Deck.
That is nice.
I think that's just like so nice. I love that.
The ultimate,
it's a good experience.
And just I've had really good experiences on my PC playing games with my 4080 Super graphics card. It just looks so nice, so easy to stream, of course. But there are some games like physically, I part of the selection process is how much of the game data is actually on the disc or the cart. That's a major factor for me if I want to actually own it, like a physical copy. Like it's not going to prevent me from like playing it, since I could play it often digitally very nicely on my hardware. But to own it physically, it needs to check certain boxes.
It's going to have to start being games that I really genuinely like, especially if I've already played it digitally. And like if I genuinely love the game, like Octopath Traveler 0, right? Like I have that digitally, like I'm getting it physically.
I'm going to buy that. I'm going to buy that. It's so good.
Yeah, that is a game I will buy physically because
I think it's great. I want to have it. I just want to have it, you know? Stuff like that. It's going to have to be a game that impresses me, and I'm not going to definitely not going to double dip on
everything.
Every game that I
we don't aspire to get a full JRPG library anymore.
Not anymore.
Yeah,
not anymore.
Pick and choose. I mean,
pick and choose.
Exactly. Like
if it's something that we're like PS4 back, you know, and that's great. I think that's great for me. I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
Like I said, I think at some point in the future, I very well might fall back in and want to start collecting stuff, and that's fine. I'll cross that bridge when I come to it. But for now,
that's a great thing about hobbies. You don't have to drop them completely.
Yeah,
they come back.
That goes into like, you know, what I feel like with this episode especially, you know, if we look, you know, 6 months from now, we might do another episode similar to this, and we can kind of gauge ourselves like, have we stuck
follow up?
Yeah, check in on ourselves.
Have we really followed through with what we were thinking, or something changed our mind?
Yeah. Any new announcements, like, you know, in the whole game industry that shifted our mindset?
Yeah,
something definitely to, I think, look at maybe 6 or so months from now. It'd be cool.
And I hope that all of you watching or listening will let us know in the comments what your plans are from the collector side. If you are in fact a collector, let us know what you're thinking.
Yeah. Or if you've gone all digital, which we respect.
Yeah, totally.
We personally just like collecting, but we know it's not for everyone.
Yeah, play games.
It's everyone's situation. Just play the games. Yeah.
You know,
our collect, if you don't have time to play games, I think that's also acceptable.
Whatever makes you happy.
Sure. Exactly. At the end of the day, just do what makes you happy, because it's all we can do.
That's all we do.
That's all we can do. Exactly.
That's why we are on Earth, guys. Just live a good life.
Live it.
But yeah, let us know in the comments what you guys are doing, and thank you to our members.
Yes, thank you.
Of course, thank you guys. Couldn't do it without you guys. Other than that, I think we're good. I feel like I said my fill.
Said your fill. I think I said plenty of fills, but
yeah.
I guess another thing to mention is that our spoiler cast has been decided. I believe it's Digimon Story Time Stranger. So look out for a spoiler cast of that in the next coming months. Yeah. Brandon, I think, still needs to play it. I need to play the DLC.
Yeah.
So,
yes. I'm excited to talk about it.
Me too.
I'm excited to get Brandon to play it, because it was first.
It was one of my games of the year last year. So
exactly.
It's good.
Mine as well. So
we just wanted to give you guys a heads up in case you haven't played it yet and you would like to watch the spoiler cast when it airs, just to give you a heads up that it's coming.
Yeah, we'll give you guys a better date as we get further into this.
Yeah,
we still got to get Brandon to play it, so hopefully
he's got to have time.
Yeah,
with all the other stuff he has to play.
It's a beefy game too, so
it's beefy.
Yeah, so we'll look out for it. With that, though, it's been a pleasure, and we'll catch you next week, same place, same time, same Brandon.
I don't know about
just
that.
say Brandon.
Just Brandon. It's gonna be
Dala
alternate.
and Emily will be different.
Exactly. We will be different people, but Brandon will be exactly the same.
He stays the same.
Yeah.
He stays the same.
Yeah.
Unaged. There you go. See, you'll say it nicely.
That's good.
Exactly.
All right. Bye,
So,
everybody.
Take care,
Bye.
everyone.